10 more declined logos today. My name is Andre Leroux. Let's begin. First logo today, a Mosaic letter S logo. Not bad, but simplistic. It's really just a rectangle with two circles cut from it. Maybe a little finesse would be in order. And the placement of these lines inside the letter is problematic. If we isolate a section of line, like this section, it is messy. An almost straight line like this can create an uncomfortable tension in a design. Much better to just make it straight. And the same here and here. Next, a good logo with a single problem. I don't think the missing rectangles in the tail is a good idea. It kind of reminds me of an old sign where some of the letters have disintegrated or fallen off over time. Gravity wins in the end, right? It looks somewhat broken. Next up, I'm not sure what this is. The designer calls it a letter J logo. I don't see it. Maybe this shape here is J-ish. And the description does not clarify it. The description says, this is my logos is perfect for company, which in itself is enough for this logo to be declined. If your design makes sense to you, that's not enough. It has to make sense to everyone. Next we have a flaming ball. Not bad. It bugs me that the ball is placed slightly low inside the flame. This distance here is slightly smaller than this distance. The ball should be centered in the flame, or moved lower. That could also work. The only option that doesn't work is if it is very close to being centered, but not quite centered, like it is now. Next logo. The title is Isometric K Logo, a promising design. I can kind of see a hidden isometric box here, but perhaps that is too hidden. It's difficult to spot, and without that isometric structure, the design becomes just an unattractive collection of shapes. Next, we have a snail toilet combination. I thought it was a snail and loudspeaker, but the title is Snail Toilet Logo. Look, I know toilets look different in different parts of the world, but an upside down toilet, I don't see that working. I don't want to think about it. And what is the message here? What company wants a snail toilet for a logo? Even a company that specializes in toilet stuff don't want to be associated with a snail, one of the slowest and slimiest animals on the planet. At least make it a snail loudspeaker instead. Your drawing work is excellent, very nice. We just need a theme that has a hope of selling. Next logo, letter A, Rhino logo. Not really a rhino though, is it? It has a horn, but that's about it. Nothing else in the anatomy says rhino. And the letter A seems broken. Both the rhino and the letter A had to morph and become weird in order for them to meet in the middle. You have to end up with a rhino that is still clearly a rhino, and a letter A that is still attractive. Next we have not a logo. It is a mess, unfortunately. This is what the JPEG preview looks like. So I'm assuming you made this in Photoshop or maybe in Windows Paint, and then used some kind of conversion tool to generate a vector file. This is not how logos are created. This method will always fail on LogoGround. If your logo is declined and you see this decline reason, the one that says bad logo, that is bad. This does not mean that you should try again with a different logo. If you read the explanation, you will see that what it really says is that you should stop. You are not a LogoGround level logo designer yet. You have to go learn the basics of logo design first. Next we have a lovely logo. I really like this, an octagonal donut. It's a good idea and a brave designer. I love it. And we have a designer here that almost understands perspective. All of these lines should meet up at a single point. So a little fine-tuning needed there. If you want to understand perspective, check out the video tutorial I posted a few weeks back. On our donut, there are some lines missing here, and I'm not sure that we need outlines on all of the sprinkles. It makes the design somewhat cluttered. Maybe just a full color for the sprinkles, no stroke. And your vector file isn't up to scratch. Some untidy shapes and overlaps and unnecessary objects that you need to clean up. Next logo, and we have a lion and wrench combination. I'm not really seeing the lion. There is a type of animal face that I can make out, but it might as well be a wolf. That needs to be less ambiguous. And I don't think the wrench works. If we just look at the inside shape, that's not a wrench. And if we just look at the outside shape, that is not a wrench either. To read this as a wrench, my brain has to average these two out. That's not exactly wrong, but not quite ideal. And we will stop there. That's 10 logos. More logos next time. Be sure to subscribe, and thanks for watching.